Hello, I'm Graham Lewis, and in this video we're going to look at a distribution of numbers and using Fathom to explore the boxplot and histogram and to fully describe this distribution of numbers in context using shape, center and spread. So firstly, let's put our data into Fathom. So we have the mean number of words per sentence and we have the book, which is the Philosopher's Stone. So I'm going to copy that data and put it into Fathom. So I've copied my data, including the titles, because Fathom nicely includes that on my graphs, which is nice. And you right click and paste cases. Don't forget to pull down a table and then pull down a graph. Now the first graph I want to draw is a histogram. So what I'm going to do is put the mean number of words per sentence on the horizontal axis, and I'll put the book on the vertical axis so it's nicely labeled. So there I have nicely labeled, it just needs a title. So now I can copy this into my Word document ready for my statistical report, and I want to choose a histogram. Now the next thing to do is to make this nice and big, and you want it to be roughly a square shape. By square I don't mean the actual graph here. That's roughly a square, so that's quite nice. So I'm going to copy this now into my Word document. Now a histogram is excellent at showing the shape of a distribution, and we can see the shape there. The boxplot is also excellent at seeing the shape in a different way, and also the interquartile range and outliers, so always draw a boxplot as well. So I'm going to now draw a boxplot. There we have it, and I'm going to also put this into my Word document. Now you can see the histogram here. I've labelled it Figure 1 and given it a title, Boxplot, to show the distribution of the mean number of words per sentence for the Philosopher's Stone. And you can see it's nicely labelled with the mean number of words per sentence and then the frequency on the vertical axis. And the same with the Boxplot. Here we've got the Boxplot. Sorry, that should say Boxplot there. Boxplot to show the distribution of the mean number of words per sentence for the Philosopher's Stone. And again, it's nicely labelled. And so now we're ready to analyse these and tell the story. So it's really about telling the story. What do these pictures tell us? And we need to describe the shape, the centre and the spread in context. Never only do one of them, do all three. Now the first thing to look at is, do you have any outliers? And you're going to look at the box plot for that. You can see in the Philosopher's Stone we have no really short sentences or really long sentences in terms of being an outlier, because they would have been indicated with a little cross. So we have no outliers. When we have no outliers, we use the mean as the measure of central tendency. If we had outliers, the mean would get upset by either really big or really small numbers, and we'd have to use the median. Equally, because we've got no outliers, we can use the standard deviation of a sample here to describe the spread. Whereas if we had outliers, we would use the interquartile range. So I need the mean and the standard deviation because I have no outliers. So we can see here in the histogram, we can see that this is not symmetrical. And if we were to draw a curve on that, we would see it would have a positive skew. And we can see that in the box plot as well, because you can see a bigger whisker on the right and a smaller whisker on the left, and equally a smaller on the left in the box and a bigger distance in the box on the right, indicating again a positive skew. So now let's discuss the shape, center and spread in context for this book. So always use the most simple words you can and be clear and succinct. Less is more as a statistician. So firstly, outliers. There are no outliers present, indicating that in the Philosopher's Stone there are no sentences that are extremely long or extremely short sentences in comparison to other sentences. Now let's do the mean, the centre. The typical sentence length in the Philosopher's Stone with a mean of 11.02 is 11 words per sentence. So notice there that you've mentioned the book, you've quoted the mean. If you had outliers, you would use the median, and you've used the words like typical sentence length, so it's easy to understand, but people know that you've used the mean. The standard deviation of 4.6 words per sentence indicates that there is quite a lot of variation in the Philosopher's Stone with a variety of sentence lengths, because 4.6 is quite a lot, isn't it? The sentence lengths are not very consistent. And finally, the shape. Both the histogram in figure 1 and the box plot in figure 2 have a positive skew, indicating that more of the sentences are shorter in length with a few sentences that are much longer. And that's shape, center and spread. So remember, you're telling a story. So that's it. Thanks very much everyone, and good luck with your statistics analysis.